That is still so weird to me.
It is to me too.
I don't understand why we need the disclosure, but whatever. Okay, so for those of you guys who are newer and don't know, this is Kourtney Glaser. She is a 200K with Lavelle, and she's an absolute rock star. We love her so much. If you're not following her on if you're not following her on Instagram, you need to be, because she spits fire in her stories just about every single day. She also does it on her Facebook too, so go follow her there. But her and I had a talk, and so she's going to share some things about like rebuilding, losing rank, and how to, like, just keep going even though things kind of suck sometimes. She's also going to talk about staying together as a community even when you might not like me, and that's okay, but we work together, we work better together. And so she's going to talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to open it up for a Q&A. So if you guys have questions, Kourtney loves questions. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat, and I'll be watching for that. So I'm going to let her take it away, and there we go.
So I want to start by saying thank you for asking me to come on here. It fills up my cup, like, to get on here and pour into you guys. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm super transparent, and I hope that you walk away tonight going, okay, like, she's been there. Okay, I'm not out alone. I'm not out on a limb here. This is normal. And I could talk so much. Okay, losing rank, guys. As you may be like a day tour, and like, I apologize if you are, but the truth is, in this industry, you will probably lose rank. You probably will, especially if you grow fast. Okay, now maybe you won't, but if you do, it's not a death sentence, y'all. If anything, like, I told my daughter a while ago, she was in the batting cages and she was swinging and she started crying, and I'm like, that's like, I go, get mad. Like, go get mad and get a piece of that ball. That's how I was when I lost rank. Like, it pissed me off to the point of, I've done it before, I can do it again. Like, bring it on. I'm sorry, but nothing excites me more than a good comeback story, or a good, they dove head first and they are all bloodied up and bruised and have stitches but still hit a rank. I think it is boring when someone walks in and they're like, yeah, it was so easy. Like, that to me is once in a blue moon, right? It's just not how it works here, because I grew super fast and I went to 200K in 5 months. I lost rank 5 times. I guess maybe God thought like I was tough enough to take it. Maybe that's all I can think of, but I've lost rank 5 times, and every single time I got back up and I swung, and I got back up and I swung harder. And so I prepare my girls. I'm like, if you grow really, really fast, you will have fall off fast. It's part of it. That is why I want you to replace the word, get rid of the word rebuild. Everybody, get rid of the word rebuild. Here's why. If you stay in the zone, you are always building. If you stay ahead, like, okay, so in Nemo, they're like, stay away from the, I don't remember what they call it, the drop off or whatever. And so I always tell my team, like, stay ahead of the fall off. You have to stay ahead of the fall off. We know people will come in herds at certain times of the year, and then they will fall off. But if you stay in the zone and you stay in the building, like, mindset, you will never have to get in the rebuilding mindset. So it's a mind game, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now, I could mind fuck myself every day, or I could lie to myself and psych myself up every day. I could. It's a numbers game. You have to start talking positive to yourself and say, this is what I'm doing every day to build, despite what is happening in the background. Guys, I have people quit on me all the time. I tell girls, I'm like, if you can't handle a 4K quitting, how are you going to be able to handle a 200K walking away? It will happen. It doesn't scare me. Here's the thing. I'm going to eat next Tuesday. That's what I always tell my team. I'm going to eat next Tuesday whenever I get paid from Lavelle. I don't know if you are, but I will. I have lost a $700,000 leg before I even hit the Millionaires Club. I don't like, to me, I want an organization so big where I literally can bless and release when that happens. And I can say, literally, without any like petty Kourtney, or any resentfulness that how I used to be, and be like, you know what, if you want to go and sell leggings, God be with you. Like, go sell leggings. I love you. Let me have your link. I'll order, and bless and release people, because at the end of the day, your energy is priceless. Your energy is your number one most precious resource that you have. And if you are sitting there begging people to stay, upset when people leave, you're always going to be in a lack mindset, and you have to be on an abundant mindset. So what did that for me? I will never forget calling Maria and losing my shit because I had a 4K leave. And I'm not saying 4Ks are not the backbone of our company. I'm not saying if you're a 4K, I don't appreciate you. But what I'm saying is, if I'm going to lose my shit over a 4K leaving, how am I ever going to be able to hit a bigger obstacle? With different ranks come bigger obstacles. With bigger teams come bigger obstacles. With bigger success comes bigger obstacles. Period. End of story. Still to this day, I face adversity and obstacles, but if I can't handle those small ones, I saw someone the other day that posted, and it said, God, I wish I could remember verbatim, but basically it said, if you don't learn from your mistakes, God will recycle the lessons. If you don't learn from your mistakes, God will continue to recycle the lessons. And I thought, man, y'all, I used to be pissed when people would leave. I would be like, well, go have fun. And like, dude, no, I want such an abundant mindset where I know that there is room for everyone everywhere in this industry. And I will have the next millionaires on my team. I don't know who they are. Who I think they will be may not be who they end up being. It doesn't matter. What I always tell myself is, on my worst day, whenever I feel like throwing in the towel, believe it or not, I feel those things. Okay. Believe it or not, those feelings magnify the larger your organization gets. They don't ever go away. But I always tell myself, so what if it was a good day? Would you throw in the towel too? Like what? Like, no, you wouldn't. If someone quits on me and I'm like, okay, well, if they didn't, would you have been done with your mission? No, my mission's always the same. I'll never quit because I'm comfortable. So why in the hell would I quit because I'm uncomfortable? If I don't have quitting, and by quitting, I mean propping my feet up on the table, if I don't have quitting, this like intense focus that I have to change lives, if I'm not saying to myself, oh, well, whenever I become a multimillionaire, then I'm just going to kind of lean off the gas. Why the hell would I say when I am struggling, I would lean off the gas? It doesn't make any sense whenever you sit and think about it, right? Quitting has got to be off the table. Quitting has got to not even be an option. And I say that because in this industry, I felt like I was like in the ocean for so long, and I'd get out for, a little bit, and then like the tide would bring me back in, and then I'd get out a little further and the tide would bring me back in. And guys, I swear to you, it was once I got past that tide, past that, whatever it's called, guys, there was no coming back in. There was no looking back. There was no, I have my hard days, but I never question why am I doing what I'm doing. I never feel icky anymore. I never feel like, why is this happening? I'm more like, okay, what's happening? What's happening? What can I learn in this moment? When I lost rank, how long? I have no idea. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. No, it was longer than a month. I lost it 5 times, y'all. I could not tell you. I have not thought about it since. My whole mission was, I got to get it back. I got to get it back by changing more lives. I got to get it back by going and helping more people. Because I don't sit and dwell in those times. I stick to what I know happens. Here's another thing. If you're losing rank, I cannot urge you enough. Do not go and look for something new. And by new, I mean a new skill set. I will tell you, learn a new skill set in your winning season, not in your losing season. So often, myself included, I would feel like I was behind. So I'd be like, well, I need to go learn Twitter, or I need to go learn TikTok. No, in your losing season, you need to let everything else go out the window, and you need to focus on the things you're good at and the things you already know and what your leader has already taught you or what you have taught yourself, and you need to do those tenfold. I believe that very, very much. Now, I will never look at a girl and be like, don't start that blog, don't start that podcast. I won't do that. I encourage everyone to spread their wings, but don't spread your wings because you think it's going to get you to the next step, right? Like, I want you to think about that. My podcast didn't get me to my next rank. My podcast has a lot of listeners because I became successful first. Something has to solidify first. I see it all of the time. Somebody wants to go do a like to know it, or somebody wants to go also brand themselves. And I'm not telling you not to find yourself. What I'm telling you is, I remember telling one of my 80K leaders this. It was after conference. She spent the night with me before she flew home, and I was so tired. She's one of my best friends, Katie Calladine, if you know her. And she had struggled losing rank back and forth. And honestly, I knew as a friend, she had struggled finding herself. And I remember I rolled over in bed and I said, hey, and she goes, yeah. And then I said, I don't have a lot of energy to talk because I was wiped. I said, stop fucking trying to be somebody you're not. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, stop. I said, somewhere along the way in these last few months when you lost rank, you feel, I'm watching you, Katie. I said, you feel like you need to go like change something about you. And I said, stop. And she's like, okay. And I said, you were perfectly, wonderfully, fearfully made right as you are, and the way you got to where you are. I said, keep doing what that was, because I see people doubt themselves. They doubt their skill sets. They want to go and change this up, change that up. And the truth is, you just need to do more of what was already working. And maybe you got comfortable. Maybe you had an influx of people, and then it's no shock that with a quick rise comes, it, you know, you go up further. When you fall, you're going to fall further, right? It's just what happens. It's hyper growth. That's what Maria and Paul always preached to me when I came in. They're like, you experienced hyper growth, and that's not normal. And so I was prepared to fall. Not like I sat back and waited for it to happen, but when it happened, it didn't stop me. It didn't make me go, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in direct sales. Maybe, you know, it was like, all right, game on. Game on. I got this. I'm going to get it back. One of the things that I will tell you to do is in your winning season and in your losing season, I can't urge you enough to stay together as a community. I literally cannot urge you enough. I'm going to tell you right now, I love a lot of people I don't like. And a lot of my team would tell you that they love me, but they don't like me a lot of the times. Brittany Lee said this the other day on the training. She's like, I can't even count the amount of times I've wanted to punch Kourtney in the face, but I still learn from her. She's still my mentor, and she's my go-to, because I believe in having people around you that will tell you what you don't want to hear. And that's exactly what you need to hear. Okay. Don't shy away and think you can do this better on your own. Don't go and start recreating the wheel. I just can't urge you enough to do that, to not do that. I have seen so many organizations divide and conquer themselves because they do not stay close to the heat. You do not have to all like each other or all see things the exact same way in order to hit a mission or to hit a goal. And I want to give you an example. This is what I tell my team all of the time. I'm like, we don't have to like each other, but we have to love each other. We have to have the same mission and the same vision. And we have to show up, put on the same jersey, and go and play that game together on the same team. And I'm like, how often do you think that, you know, I don't know, like one of the football players pissed one of the other ones off? Well, who cares? When it comes time to perform, it doesn't matter. You have each other's backs. That is another thing that I'm going to tell you. My team name is called Grace on Fire for a reason. I have the word grace tattooed on me for a reason. Okay. Didn't know, God's funny, that I named my daughter Grace for this reason. I just like the name. I sucked at giving people grace. I sucked at it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're all in or you're all out. I either love you or I'm going to burn your house down. Like, I was such a bitch. I have learned to be patient, to be loving, to be kind, to know that my way is not the only way, and to love people where they are. But you've got to do that for other people in return. that word is like literally something I cling to. It's like show people grace, give yourself grace, but get up and fight every single day. There was a question. Hold on.
I'll read it to you. There was, we get a lot of interpersonal issues as the reason people struggle, separate from uplines, downlines, or step back or quit. How do you manage that with your team and all of the people you work with?
Tell me, and I'm just like, guys, be blunt. Don't sugarcoat shit. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me what you mean by that. I will tell you right now, I have 200Ks under me that fucking hate me and they have me blocked. They do. They do not connect with me. We don't gel. Okay. My door is always open. I would welcome them in my home tomorrow. I still pour into their teams any chance I get, but I do not let it bother me. I can't let it bother me. My biggest piece of advice is the stupidest thing you can ever do is cut somebody off from an upline because you don't like them. This is business. We have to treat each other like humans. You lead a volunteer army. I don't allow mean girl nonsense around me. I address things with people when I see it. But at the end of the day, like, I can't control what anyone else does, but I will never encourage a team to not talk to a leader or play that petty bullshit, because every single one of us get up every day to make this world a better place, whether we get along or not. Whether you think I'm a bitch or not, it doesn't matter. You cannot sit and think, well, Kourtney doesn't like what she does. I don't wake up each day and go, oh, I'm going to be a bitch today. You know, even though some people may not like me, every one of you is getting up to change this world for the better and to be a better human. Give people the benefit of the doubt and know that you can all still be on the same mission. And you don't have to be best friends, but you can respect each other. You can love each other. And guess what? You can learn from somebody that you don't like. There are plenty of people that maybe I don't like the way they do things, or maybe I can still learn something from them. If you don't think you can, you need to swallow some humble pie. Okay. Because you can always learn something from somebody, no matter what. No matter if they do 100 things that you wouldn't do, there is one thing that you can learn from them. I promise you. And you have to respect that people are different, but you still have to show up and work together. This is a team sport. Network marketing is a team sport. I will tell you right now, if you've ever felt like, well, I can think of so many emotions. Well, the harder I work, the more my upline makes, and she's a bitch, so I don't like her. And like, get over yourself. Like, get over yourself, right? You didn't sign up for your upline's paycheck. You signed up for your paycheck. All of those things are cancer to your business, and I've seen them destroy teams. Get up and show up for your life and for your family every single day. Plug people in where there is positivity, whether or not it's exactly how you would do things or not, who cares? The best thing you'll ever have in this business is a team and a place to plug people into. It's not going to look perfect. It's going to grow and evolve as you grow and evolve. But good God, if not, you're going to be exhausted. You are going to be exhausted if you try to do this on an island by yourself. You've got to pull together. There are girls that I don't necessarily, I wouldn't run my business the way they do on my team, but I love them. I respect them for where they're at. There is something that you need to Google and look up. I encourage all of you to, and I will send you the notes on this. I did this with my leadership team. There are 4 stages to leadership, or maybe 5. I would have to go back and look at the article, but I read it to my leaders. Okay, yes, 5. And I had them go and identify where they were. And guess what it did for me? It let me know that I have leaders that are at all different levels. And I can look at one and go, well, I know that, not like, oh, that's typical of her, but I get it. That's where she's at on her leadership development. And I can help move them forward. But I can't expect everyone to be perfect and to lead in this. That like does not exist in our industry. Okay. So that's my tip on that. Hold on. Okay. Let me see. Interpersonal issues, and the reason, I don't know, like, you just have to be so much stronger than the drama, because the drama will always be there. always be there. And I will straight up look at someone and go, that's negative. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Now, hear me out. Do I have negative thoughts? Yes. Do I ever think like, what is she doing? Absolutely. But it's literally me making a choice to go, I'm not going down that road and I'm not entertaining those conversations. I refuse. Why? Because it gets me in too much trouble as a leader. So I just have to, I don't know. Okay, let me read these questions. When I was a lower rank, did I do promos for your team like you do now? And if so, what types did you do? I mean,
I'll elaborate because I'm the one that sent that, because I see your promos that you do now, obviously, because like your team shares them and then you'll share them and stuff like that. And your promos now are bigger, obviously, and they're great. And I think we have a lot of people who want to do promos for their smaller teams. And they just don't, I think they see what we do, you know, as 200Ks and like what we can afford. And they kind of assume that they have to do things like that.
No, hello. Okay, so here's my biggest piece of advice. Use your upline. I always tell my girls, stop trying to spend your own money and like hype your team up and plug them into my promos. I don't do those promos because I wake up and look for where, you know, places to spend money. I do those to help my team grow. And so use us. I will tell you that the number one thing that you should be doing if you are thinking, and this is just my 2 cents, if you are thinking about doing a promo and you are a 4K, 12K, 40K, create volume. What do I mean by that? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you ideas. Cash back on promoter packs. Let's say you set a budget for yourself. You don't have to, but let's say you do, and it was $200. Okay, cool. I'm going to do $20 cash back for the next 10 200 packs. Why am I saying that? Because that gets volume in the computer. Right now, if I tried to do that, it would be gone in 10 minutes. Okay. I'm too big. And I mean that very humbly. That's why I do a bigger price. I do a computer. I do Gucci slides. I do things like that. Another thing you could do if you have any free product on hand. Okay. Your giveaways, at the end of the day, I totally know that some people just love prizes. I get that. But at the end of the day, plug those people into your upline and give away things that generate volume. Credits. I'm still always doing that. Like $10 off for the 3 steps or things like that. Why? That's going to build your business. That's going to build your community. It is not a pissing contest. And I will tell you, I had leaders that would get like that. Sorry, I'm going to turn my air on. I don't know if it's going to cut off my audio. I had leaders that were like, well, I'm going to do this. Well, it's not a competition. You're all on one team. And I say that very respectfully because I have watched some of my girls that were kind of like popping off at the same time, turn things into competitions. And I'm like, y'all don't like love each other. Y'all are all winning whenever someone gives back over there. So if something is rolled out for you, utilize it. Like, I don't give a shit if you like me or not. Why wouldn't you plug your girls in if I'm giving away a computer? You know what I mean? Like, plug them in. Do smaller things for your girls. Another thing that I like to do is just you could pull your PPA report every month and mail someone a handwritten card, or you could actually ask one of your uplines that you do have a good relationship with, hey, would you send 2 cards to the top 2 enrollers for my organization? It'd take 5 minutes to do. Things that don't cost a lot of money. People want to be recognized and they want to know you care. So it's not about the gift giver. It's about the person getting the gift and the reinforcement of positivity that you're doing. That's what I've learned. And I learned that from being a behavior specialist, y'all. That's like what we had to do to get kids to behave, was to reinforce certain behaviors. You don't want to do it just to do it. You want to do it for a purpose. I always ask people, whenever my girls under me go, hey, I want to do a giveaway, my first question, and I challenge you to ask yourself this, is I say, what's the function of your giveaway? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you hoping to achieve with it? Well, I want volume. Okay, awesome. Then we need to do something that generates volume. Well, I just want to get back. Awesome. We need to do something then that like retreats. Do maybe a pizza night and anyone local can come if you're trying to just build community. You have to stop and ask yourself, why are you doing a giveaway in the first place? Because then you'll know what to tailor it towards. If I'm doing a giveaway to create volume and I do top PPA, well, guess what? If I have someone that's an enrolling machine on my team, that's not going to encourage all of the other people that I want to see grow. I really have to stop and think about, what is my function with this giveaway? What am I hoping to, have happen with my team by rolling this out? So my giveaways are always very thought out.
Okay, perfect. Tracy asked, have you ever experienced a big drop in Zoom attendance, and how did you handle that?
I'm going to tell you right now that if I have had one, didn't notice, because I do not micromanage. I couldn't tell you if there was 100 or 200 people on my last huddle. I have no idea why, because I always say this, the people that don't show up, I will never be like, hey, so I know you said you wanted to grow. Why weren't you on the Zoom? And here's why. I don't fault you if you're a leader and you've done that, but here's why I say that. Nobody had to ask you to get up and get on a Zoom. And whether there's 3 people or 10 people on that Zoom, love them, pour into them, and watch that positive community multiply. But if you ever stop and try to address what's not happening, your mind will go in the gutter. It'll go in the, oh my God, why aren't people showing up? Oh my God, is Susie on here? Susie's not on here. Susie bitches all the time. Why isn't Susie on here? I poured into, like, you'll start like getting in your head. For me, literally, I'll tell you what I do on a Zoom. I go to speaker view and I am on that Zoom, not to count how many people are on there, not to look and see who's on there. I get on that Zoom as a leader to learn from whoever's speaking, and I do speaker view and I watch the speaker. Because if I didn't, I know throughout my career, I would have felt defeated. I would have felt a drop in spirit when I saw a drop in numbers, and I couldn't do that to myself. I will tell you, one of my first Zooms, there was 3 girls on there, and I can still remember exactly who they are. 2 of them aren't with me anymore. One is. And I thought for, a few minutes, like, seriously, 3 people, I was an 80K. And I was like, all right, cool. 3 people. Let me love them, pour into them. Let's go. So my biggest thing is focus on who does show up, not who doesn't show up. And I know that sounds so cliche, but seriously, y'all, because more people, I'm shocked by people that have the discipline, right? I'm not shocked when someone doesn't show up anymore. I'm numb to that. Numb yourself to it. It's the truth. It's the reality. This is hard work. This takes somebody who is hungry. This takes somebody who is like, put me in the game. And not everyone's wired like that. I would rather focus on the 2 people that showed up than the 10 people that didn't all day long, because that's where your positive energy is going to be received, and that's where people can do something with it. I don't know. That's just me.
No, I love that. I think that was perfect. What do you do with leaders who are 40, 80, 200K who don't want to lead? They say it's just not in them. They don't like it. It's too much pressure, etc.
I pick up the slack for them and I carry their team. It's my job. It's my job. It sucks. Trust me. Do I get pissed? Absolutely. But I do not share that with my team. That would be like me going, fine, I'll help you since you're a leader. Won't. Like,
Yeah,
I make money
right.
off of you too, and trust me, there are people on my team that do not carry their weight. I don't know.
I
like,
just find comfort
me,
in hearing that alone. So
I mean, I don't know, man. They're missing out on community. They're missing out on, then they'll be like, well, my team doesn't respect me. And I'm like, because you don't show up. Like, there are things that come with being a leader that are not monetary, that are very, very rewarding. And they're going to miss out on that. And you're going to get that from their team. I will never look at a team and be like, well, they're so-and-so's responsibility. I can think right now in my head, I'm not going to name ranks, but I can just think in my head of big leaders on my team who are willy-nilly. And I love them. I know I know. So what do? That's where I roll out my promotions. That's where I'm in those chats. That's where I am pouring love. Why? Because at the end of the day, they're all my team. They're all
Right.
my responsibility. And I just give those other leaders grace. And I know half of them are a 1 or a 2 on the leadership scale. And I don't mean that rude. It's just reality. And I'll tell you this too. One of the coolest things ever is to watch someone that once was a snowflake leader be an all-in leader and get it and give someone the chance to have that breakthrough, and you have a front row seat as a leader. Pick up the slack. You can cuss them in your head, but at the end of the day, they're your team too. So
yeah. Okay. I'm processing that because that's just the revelation that I've been having here recently. So I'm like, she's in my head. Okay. Do you time block and work your business, and what does that look like for you?
okay, so I do not time block. I will tell you that I am very unorganized. I have started with a habit tracker so that I can assess my organization skills. I have things that I know I need to be better at every single day. I would encourage you to make a to-do list every single day, and it doesn't need to be a priority list. It needs to be a non-negotiable list. I say that, but you can't beat yourself up at the end of the day if you didn't get it all done. Like, but I don't let myself feel okay being mediocre either. Like, there's this healthy balance of pushing yourself to go harder and holding yourself accountable, but not telling yourself you're a loser because you didn't mark it all off. I don't make excuses for myself, but I also don't beat myself up. I feel like that's very important. But I will tell you this, the worst thing you can do is wing your business, because when you wing your business, you will wing your results. And for me, I know every single day, like I probably can tell you what's on my habit tracker: to drink 64 ounces of water, to make my bed, to read 10 pages, to interact for 30 minutes on Instagram, to follow 10 accounts on Instagram, to post a reel, to work in Facebook groups for 30 minutes every single day, and to add 10 quality friends on Facebook every single day. I know that is on my habit tracker. I do not have it in front of me. Why? Because I sat with myself all last month and identified areas where I was not consistent and where I needed to be more intentional. And I wrote those down, and that's what I work towards every single day. No, you can ask my husband. I am all over the place. I do not time block. I just don't, because I just don't. I try to be better at time. I would tell you that my need is actually time block for myself and my family, because I am a workaholic. I don't feel like if anything suffers for me the way I'm wired, it's my family, not my work, because I don't know, I love my work so much. It's my safe spot. It is the place that's predictable to me, even though my enrollments aren't predictable. I just know I'm making a difference there on my worst day. I don't know. Okay, so
How do you find the hungry people? Like, do you have a way that you specifically know that this person is hungry? Like,
I don't waste any
interview
time.
process or anything?
I don't waste any time. So if someone puts me in a 3-way chat with someone that's like, well, like, I'm so busy, I'm going to tell you right now, and you may disagree with me, if somebody has already given me that many excuses, where I'm at developmentally, I don't want to work with you. In my mind, I envision, and I dare you to envision this for the next 30 days, the girl out there that's in her high heels, that's a pharmaceutical rep by day and a real estate agent by night, that maybe works at the bar on the weekends, that is just has hustle in her bones. That's who I'm wanting to talk to. I don't talk to anyone else. I get the tired mom and this and that, but when I started this, I ran a daycare. I was selling knockoff designer jewelry, and I was taking pictures on the side. I was literally generating money any legal way I could. That's the type of person I'm looking to talk to. I am not wasting 1 minute convincing anyone that they need this. I am putting out there Like, where are my entrepreneurs at? Where are my hustlers at? Where are the women that have worked and had lemonade stands since they were 13, years old? Like, where are those? Those people are out there, y'all. Those people are out there. There's sales people out there already that are selling couches. Imagine what they would do if they could sell vitamins. Like, I don't know. I just know my perspective has changed on who I talk to.
I love that. What does your personal development look like?
It looks like I need to read more than I do, but I have a book by my bed. I carry it with me. I try to make myself read 10 pages a day. I will even ask my husband, hi, can you read to me? And he will say no. It looks like I know I need it. You need to be doing personal development. You need to be filling your mind with positivity. If not, the world will fill your mind with something negative every single day. Period. End of story. Something negative will greet you every single day if you do not intentionally have something positive greet you. I also listen a lot to like meditation, spa music. I just try to fill my brain with things that are going to make me in a better mood. You know what that weakness is for you. And so you've got to find your like antidote. You've got to know what that is for you. Maybe it's when you're on your period. Maybe it's whenever you're super busy. I don't know. You've got to know your body and your mental health that you stay one step ahead of that.
I love it. What is your number one tip for customer retention? And that came from the Auto Elite Queen. I don't even know.
That's probably one of my biggest areas that I personally struggle. I feel like we do a good job as a team with it. I would tell you that I enroll way more promoters, and I'm not telling you like I'm not good at enrolling customers, but that's not my strength. My strength is business, enrolling business partners. I feel like my team is awesome at it because we give back a lot to our customers, whether it's like a sample here or a card, or we just treat them like family. But I am way more heavy on enrolling business partners.
Same. Okay, so when you say you pick up the slack, how do you personally do that without burning out? And we have seen leaders who are picking up the slack feel burnout even with our help. How do you do one thing? Wait, how you do one thing is how you do. Oh, sorry, I was reading the comment. Okay, so yeah, how do you avoid burning yourself out by picking up the slack of other leaders?
You have to have boundaries, and you have got to step in and pick up the slack before it gets out of control. And you've got to identify other leaders within that team, even if they're a 4K, a 12K, it doesn't matter. Like, for instance, if I'm trying to pull people together in a chat to regroup a team that their leader's not present, I'm like, okay, who can drop a graphic and tell everyone good morning? I try to have structure anywhere I can from anybody that's willing to lead in that area. I mean, you will do a lot of things in network marketing that you don't necessarily get paid for. And then you will get paid for a shit ton of things you don't do. And so burnout to me is whenever you are chasing your tail because you're unprepared. Working more and going above and beyond during certain seasons to me is your job. I think that burnout to me is whenever you are getting nowhere, when you literally, like, I think of it like peeling out, right? Like, that's what I think of. Burnout, though, you're gonna have to pick up the slack during certain times. It's just establish a system real quick, establish other people that can help you real quick, because if not, you're going to become resentful. You're not going to work your business with love and joy anymore. And honestly, what's the difference in leading a 40K team under you or an 80K team under you? I get you're going to have to step up. Okay, go grow a new leader under there fast. That's my biggest piece of advice to you. I've had 200Ks bow out, 80Ks bow out. Y'all, I've had it all. I pick up the slack, I establish a go-to person in that area, and I start pouring into and growing that leader and helping them know what to do. It could look something as simple as I pulled all of these girls in a chat together the other day. I went to one girl and I said, hey, I know they're not all under you, but most of them are. Can you please roll out a special for credits off of a 3-step? I'm sending you the credits. If they're not under you, I'll send the credits. And she's facilitating that. She's growing and she's helping carry that weight, but it gets heavy sometimes.
I love that. Okay, so the last question is, what advice do you have for women who want to recruit those go-getter women but don't identify with them? Part-time job, mostly stay-at-home mom here.
I mean, you just have to put yourself out there. Like, I can't, because it's not about what I currently do. It's like, what am I made of? What's in my bones, right? For me, I don't work 3 jobs anymore, but I can still say, hey, those of you out there that are working 12-hour shifts, the teachers, like, I can still relate to those people because of the drive that they have, not because of necessarily the career that they have. So speak about your drive, speak about your passion, and you're going to speak to someone's heart instead of their title.
I love that. I think that'll do it. We've kept you for like 40 minutes now, and
You're good.
I really appreciate you saying yes to this. I mean, and you said yes like really quickly.
I will always help you. You know that. Like,
I know, but
I always will. Somebody, I had a side sister save my business when I was down, and whenever I had lost my upline and a lot of my team, and it was Amanda Arnett. She stepped in, she did Zooms with my team, and I'll never forget that. And I think it's so important. It's just another example of how you have to help carry the weight of the world, not just of your paycheck. And when you can go and show up and give and love and give that back to your team, it's just priceless. And I encourage all of you to get up and do that and go serve in a way that doesn't grow your paycheck, because it'll grow your heart. It'll grow your knowledge. It'll grow so much more in the long run.
I love it. Well, we thank you so much.
You're
I don't
welcome.
know if you want the recording or not, but once we get the recording together, I can send it to you. And I hope you guys have fun. I know y'all are going to the drive-in movie and everything. So love you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. Bye, Court.
Bye. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up. And I thank y'all for hopping on. I am going to try and figure out who I want to get for next week. It's always such a challenge to like try to top. I guess I'm not really trying to top. I just want to make sure that I'm getting people that you guys are going to love the most. Oh, I will reach out to Mario. That is a good suggestion. And if you guys have notes that you want to share, we would love them, and we can share them and pass them around. And if you guys have anybody else that you want to see, I'll ask Mario for next week. If you guys have anybody else that you have in mind, just let me know, and I will do my best to reach out to them and try to get them on. And hopefully we can grow these and get, I don't even know who that is. You'll just have to send me a screenshot of her Facebook because I have no idea who that is. And yeah, love y'all. Have a good night.